Welcome to the Autistic Me podcast. My name is Christopher Scott Wyatt, and since 2007, I have been blogging as the Autistic Me. I launched this podcast during the 2017-2018 school year. I assume you're listening to this trailer because you're interested in autism. I certainly cannot imagine another reason you stumbled into a podcast named The Autistic Me. Since I'm not known for my bright and cheery self-promotional nature, I'll stick to what I do best, blunt honesty. Maybe you'll still subscribe to the podcast. This podcast has rarely managed a weekly or biweekly schedule. This podcast and the blog are things I try to do around my other responsibilities. I do my best to release episodes twice a month or more, but I often fail to hit that goal. What could be more important than dreaming of podcast or YouTube stardom? Don't I want to monetize my social media presence? Doesn't everyone with a podcast want to become a social media influencer? Well, I am a parent working from home and doing my best to homeschool two young neurodiverse daughters in the midst of a pandemic. Before that, my wife Susan and I were the girls' foster parents. Sure, I'd love for this podcast to generate some income, but I have never had the time or energy to beg for interviews and promote myself on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, or whatever's popular at the moment. That's actually why you should listen to The Autistic Me. This podcast is about real life. I'm an exhausted parent, an imperfect husband, a freelance writer, a former educator, and an authentic diagnosed autistic struggling to hold things together day after day. I'm not one of the super parent influencers who can juggle work, parenting, and high production value YouTube videos. There are funnier blogs and podcasts, much funnier. Yes, there are entertaining podcasts hosted by funny autistics. And I hope to have some of those funny people on this podcast to ask how they manage to be so charmingly witty. There are more informative podcasts about autism research and current publications. I assume if you want autism news, you can set a Google, Apple, or Bing news alert for the keyword autism. I don't want to be an aggregator of news headlines. The Autistic Me is about life as an autistic individual. But it's not just my autistic perspective. I wouldn't want to listen to 30 or so episodes a year of my whining about daily life. That would be pretty boring. I chat with neurodiverse guests too, including my daughters. Authors, scholars, and other parents have appeared on the podcast as well. So subscribe and give the Autistic Me a chance. I'll be here, Christopher Scott Wyatt, speaking as the Autistic Me. It might even be entertaining once in a while. Thank you.